Weekly dengue cases have fallen in October after hitting 300 cases a week for the first time last month. But even as the numbers dip, the National Environment Agency isn't letting up its effort to stop the breeding of the Aedes mosquito. It's conducting some 10,000 inspections a week at homes across Singapore to spot potential breeding grounds. And the agency is also urging the public to stay vigilant, especially with warmer than usual weather expected. Chloe Chu with this report.
These National Environment Agency officers are carrying out indoor fogging at this Lentor home to wipe out mosquitoes. This operation is timely as a cluster has popped up at Lentor Loop with over 80 dengue cases. There are now nearly 50 dengue clusters in Singapore. Mr. Teo Wee Sing carries out daily checks in his home, like keeping his plants free of stagnant water to keep his family safe. He's also taken an extra precaution and opted for his home to be inspected by NEA.
So I think everybody is worried about this. My neighbor got it. I think from what I heard from him, it's a lot of suffering. He feels very weak and cannot even eat food properly, and it's lasting like something like a week to two. It's just feel very bad.
Senior Parliamentary Secretary for Sustainability and the Environment, Bae Yam King, is reaching out to residents at the estate. He's urging them to take urgent action to control mosquito breeding, especially at landed homes.
When NEA does its inspections in cluster areas, we do find majority of breeding grounds in residential properties, about 70%. So that's why everyone must still do our part to look out for breeding grounds within our own homes and join the fight against dengue.
NEA says most residents are cooperative, but some prefer not to have their homes fogged or inspected. Some residents say such measures are an inconvenience. Yeo Chu Kang MP Yip Hon Wing is hoping more homeowners will change their minds and allow these officers into their homes to get rid of mosquitoes.
Dengue is a community issue. We all need to be vigilant together. Mosquitoes do fly everywhere. So if one party is, perhaps not as vigilant, it may affect the entire estate.
The agency says there were around 260 cases in the first week of October. In the second week, it dropped to 215. But just because weekly dengue cases seem to be dipping, the danger is far from over. The warmer months from June to October usually result in more dengue cases in Singapore because the virus multiplies quicker in such conditions. But this year might be a little different with the El Niño effect taking place. Even though we're already coming to the end of October, Singapore is still set to experience hot weather in the coming months. NEA is advising the public to use insect repellent and wear clothes with more coverage where possible.
As Singapore continues to fight dengue, it's using a strategy that's showing some promise. Under Project Wolbachia, researchers breed male Aedes mosquitoes that do not bite. Instead, they mate with females in the wild, which then produce eggs that don't hatch. CNA tours a facility that's central to this effort, which ultimately aims to reduce the mosquito population.
Think of this facility as a nursery. Only the babies are male Wolbachia mosquitoes. Every week, 7 million of them are produced, taking the total number of male mozzies bred here to more than 300 million since 2019.
Inside each cage, we have a male and female mosquito. Of course, there's more females inside before the egg production. So at the bottom of the cage, you can see there's what we call ovipod. That means egg collection containers. Inside there's a shallow water, then there are mosquito eggs.
Mosquitoes live for about 2 weeks, and females can lay eggs about 3 times in that period. This is what the eggs look like. Millions of them before they hatch into these larvae. Researchers then count them with this device developed in-house. This tray contains 26,000 larvae, all just a day old, living in a liquid formula that's actually a form of specially developed food for them. 7 days later, they become pupae and are sorted using this scanner that runs on artificial intelligence. The smaller ones are males, and the bigger ones are females. This machine can identify as many as 1.5 million male mosquito pupae in as little as 3 hours.
After we point a mixture of male and female pupa into this machine, the machine will give us female from the top tube, then the male from the middle tube. So we're only interested in the male pupa because we are only release male mosquito.
The males are packed into release containers, also known as launchers. They are then set free in neighborhoods such as Tampines, Yishun, and Choa Chu Kang. Authorities say the Aedes mosquito population has fallen since the initiative started in 2016. However, cases remain high and clusters can continue to emerge. Experts say while the Wolbachia technology is effective in reducing the risk of dengue transmission, it alone cannot work. Residents have to do their part as well by removing stagnant water so the country can try to be rid of this potentially fatal disease.
For an in-depth breakdown of why Singapore is at risk of dengue and the measures authorities are taking to tackle these mosquitoes, go to cna.asia.